It's been 6 perfect months. Cedric and Marissa had settled into an easy rhythm. He made breakfast, bacon always. She handled the laundry, delicately separating clothes from transformation casualties. And Judith, the bulldog, accepted her new pack member with quiet disdain. They were happy, but Cedric had noticed something was off. Nothing dramatic, just little things, like how Marissa never lost at hide and seek, even in the pitch dark, or how she once caught a fly with chopsticks, or how she always managed to avoid stepping on creaky floorboards, even when carrying 2 bowls of popcorn and 3 blankets. At first, Cedric talked it up to her being naturally graceful. Then came the raccoon incident. It was a Tuesday. Cedric came home early from work. He had accidentally growled at a client on a Zoom call again, and found Marissa in the backyard, standing perfectly still, eye to eye with a raccoon. Not looking at it, not yelling, staring it down. The raccoon chattered, backed away slowly, then bolted into the woods like it owed her money. Marissa dusted off her hands and went inside like nothing happened. Cedric blinked at the patio for a full 10 minutes. That night, after she fell asleep, he turned to Judith and whispered, "She's either got raccoon mafia ties or she's hiding something." Judith blinked twice. Then came the camping trip. Marissa had insisted they spend the weekend in the woods near Cedar Lake. No phones, no Wi-Fi, just you and me and an unnatural number of protein bars. Cedric was nervous. He didn't like being off-grid unless it was a full moon and he was chained to a tree. But he agreed, partly because she looked so excited, partly because she'd recently started calling him Snuggle Wolf, and it short-circuited his brain every time. They hiked up, set up camp, watched the stars. Then, around 3 a.m., Cedric woke up to something growling. He bolted upright, fur already bristling, but it wasn't him. It was Marissa. She was standing outside the tent, barefoot, eyes glowing faintly green in the dark. Her pupils slitted. Her mouth moved, growling low, in some language Cedric didn't understand. It sounded like gargling gravel. And that's when he saw it. Her shadow. It wasn't hers. It was taller, leaner, with too many limbs. She turned her head, slow and smooth, and said, "You should go back to sleep, babe." "Yep," Cedric squeaked, zipping the sleeping bag over his head like it was armor. The next morning, she was making pancakes over the fire, humming Fleetwood Mac like she hadn't just whispered to the spirit realm 8 hours ago. "Sleep okay?" she asked, flipping a flapjack. Cedric stared at her. Yeah, did you? You, went for a walk, I think?" "Oh yeah, sometimes I sleepwalk when I'm out in the nature," she said breezily. "Something about the air." The glowing eyes? She shrugged. "Astigmatism?" He nodded slowly. "Right, of course. The classic glowy eye astigmatism." He wasn't sure what disturbed him more, the shadow creature or how good her pancakes were. 3 weeks later, Cedric couldn't take it anymore. They were watching TV on the couch, some ridiculous dating show where everyone had identical teeth, and Cedric paused the episode, turned to her and said, "Marissa, we need to talk." She raised a brow. "Is this about the last roll of toilet paper again? Because you used like 6 squares for one sneeze." "No, listen, I told you my secret. I'm a werewolf. I've eaten a possum. I once accidentally howled at a baby. I've been honest." He took a breath. "I think you're hiding something too." She went still, dead still. Not normal human still, but more like taxidermy display still. Finally, she sighed. "Okay, all right, you've got me." Cedric's stomach twisted. "I didn't want to tell you because I figured he's already a werewolf. Don't overload the guy. But yeah, I'm not exactly human either." "You're not?" He sat up. "What are you then? Vampire? Dryad? Oh God, are you one of those seductive lake spirits who drown people mid-makeout?" She shook her head. "Please, drown someone? Ew, I hate soggy clothes." She stood, walked over to the bookshelf, and pulled a dusty leather-bound journal from behind a copy of The Joy of Cooking. It was covered in odd symbols and what looked suspiciously like claw marks. "I'm a shadowkin," she said simply. "Half human, half something else. My mom was a human. My dad was a dimension walker with too many eyes and a fondness for jazz records." Cedric's jaw dropped. "Technically, I'm a shadow walker. I can move through darkness, see things that others can't, and yes, occasionally chat with raccoons." She gave him a look. "They are very wise." "Uh-huh," Cedric said. They stared at each other in silence for a long moment. Then Marissa added, "Oh, and I may have banished a lesser demon that was haunting your blender last month. You're welcome." Cedric blinked. "Ah, that explains the burning plastic smell." She smiled. "Are you okay with this?" He opened his mouth, closed it, thought about it, then said, "Honestly, I'm relieved. I was starting to worry you were just really good at Pilates." They laughed. A real laugh. Deep, warm, full of relief and cosmic weirdness. Then Cedric said, "So wait, when you said you liked dark humor?" "I meant it literally," she said. "The shadows tell great jokes." From that night forward, they became something more than just an odd couple. They were a team. The shadowkin and the werewolf. He tracked things with his nose. She tracked them through dimensions. He howled warnings. She whispered threats to the darkness. Judith, as always, judged them quietly from her dog bed, dreaming of a simpler life with a normal couple who just watched Netflix and brought generic kibble. But Cedric and Marissa, they thrived in the strange. When they kissed under the next full moon, her eyes glowing green and his amber, they knew they weren't just in love. They were meant to find each other. Because nothing says soulmates like a shared appreciation for red meat, portal etiquette, and the ability to scare off Jehovah's Witnesses with a single low growl.